got back, and I told Crystal she needs to train to retrieve on Molly. And she said, oh no, that's hard. And I said, no, climbing Mount Everest is hard. I actually found a Mount Everest documentary I hadn't seen today. It was about that same thing that happened in 1996, but it was like Countdown to Disaster or something, you know, like basically saying everything that they did wrong. That's what I need to have, like, you know, these people and their dog. Here's the Countdown to Disaster. First, they started playing tug of war. Second, they didn't use any treats. Third, the dog found them extremely boring. Anyway, all right, so Mark, so what I'm starting to do now is I am adding the pager to the dynamic only because she knows. So again, it's is somebody in the front yard, or is he just barking at us?
Yeah, I think it's big.
All right, so I'm
they're
just
in the
going
back.
to get her by the collar. I'm going to do the pager. Fetch. Good girl. Wonderful. Wonderful. You know, if a movie role comes up, we've got to talk. Crystal's never met Sue, the movie dog trainer. I got to show you that video because she sent. This is the kind of friend Sue is. She was leaving to go to the Harry Potter Museum, but that was right when my British intern came, and she had taken the two Parkers and was working with them, brought them back. But then when she went there, she made me a video, leave it, of this, you know, trained cat. That, you know, because I guess that movie had a lot of cats. I never saw it, but, you know, she was doing like some demo with the cat, you know, how they train them and stuff. Because she knows how to train cats too. So she's a better animal trainer than me. She can train a cat, a bird, a squirrel, a possum, a turtle, a dog, a raccoon, a skunk. Oh, the list goes on and on. She's been on the show before. I miss her terribly. Anyway, and she needs to come to see me because she gets too much negative energy circulating around her. All right, so same thing. So then I have to just like kind of, you know, do my little, like I have this little sushi ceremony that washes it all away. All right, look, so I'm going to start my pager fetch. Oh, how wonderful. I'll tell you what she is. She's absolutely perfect. That's my neighbor's boxers. Crystal, this is the lines. Crystal's like, am I gonna? Because I told Crystal she'd get a bigger role in the show. Leave it. So when she got here Monday morning, I said, here's the new script. So her line is slight giggle, hee hee, and somewhat surprised. That's her expanded role. All right, look, so I've got her by the collar. You know, and again, she knows what's getting ready to happen. I'm starting the pager slightly before. Fetch. Oh, how absolutely perfect. I'll tell you what she is. She is absolutely perfect. Leave it. Anyway, remember that guy yesterday, Crystal, that was fighting with me on that giant pit bull thing, you know, saying the 40-pound pit bull and stuff. Mm-hmm. And some other guy went on there, but I said, you know, people do not realize, you know, the physical strength of a dog that size. That Great Dane was maybe 140, 150. You know, if this thing is 25 pounds bigger than that, you know, and I just said, you know, yeah, a 40-pound dog with a lot of tenacity could get in there and do some damage, but, you know, I would say that bigger dog could very quickly mortally wound the smaller one. Just, you know, yeah, they tried to go after King Kong with the, you know, with those biplanes with the machine gun, and King Kong just swatted him down. You know, and I said, you know, a dog like that, it really wouldn't even have to bite you. It could slam into you and kill you. You know, that Great Dane could have. And that thing started around. All you'd have to really do, honestly, you could just teach that thing to body slam somebody. And believe me, if that Danny Rolling was back on the loose again, I'll tell you who I'd be calling. Those people with that big pipple. All right, just do it one more time. So I've got her by the collar. I'm going to do the pager. Fetch. Good girl. She's doing absolutely perfect. All right, so now we're just going to do a little bit of the walking around. We're just kind of adding that in. Leave it. But you can see this is like for the, you know, infomercial. You can see it's not crazy. I mean, I honestly just do this because you have to have something that, you know, I don't know. I think when I first worked a long time ago for this guy, I gotta ask my parents what his last name was. I mean, I didn't work for him. I just worked for free. It was just like these classes. I was like the assistant or whatever. But I think that was the first time I was ever exposed to any kind of trained retrieve thing. And I think we use like a little dowel. But honestly, it's easier to teach them to hold this than it is a dowel because they've got to bite down more to hold a dowel. All right, Molly's having another seizure. Molly's going to have to get a bath. And yeah, all right, the crystal character is overusing her line. All right, Mark. Everything surprises this chick now. All right, so look. That little fluff and puff. She does like to go after dogs. You see, she's forgetting her little rule of I don't want the leash made tight. I'm fixing to bring her back to reality. All right, so what we're going to do is now we're going to make her heel around it a little bit. So part of what she understands is I'm getting her by the collar. Fetch. And what I'm not going to do is right now start saying, I'm going to really be concise with my healing right now because you're really just going back to kind of a rough, good. She's absolutely, leave it, perfect. And again, you want it, more than anything, you want it to be successful. And you do want to start adding that little turn in there. All right, Mark, and I'm going to have to give her comforters or something. We can't just use Advantage for fleas because it's going to be a lot of fleas this year, and we are everywhere. I'll tell you where we are. We're everywhere. We need to find somewhere. We need to go over to Beachside and see Zeta again. We need to get the Zeta character back in the show. Scarlet! Good girl. And even though I'm doing this exercise, I'm really not being... Let's just say if one of these guys that does this for a living saw it, they'd be, what is this chick doing? In fact, there was this guy that came on there one time. What is the name of that place? This girl's got a pretty big kennel. She's got all the Franklin. And she had this dog Mandigo, and then all the dogs she had were inbred on this Mandigo dog. Franklin's, I gotta look it up. Franklin's Golden Boy of Mandigo or something like that. Anyway, so her husband went on there and saw some video I had and said, oh, don't tell me you do this for a living. So I went on there and saw who it was. Mark is like, Crystal's like, where's she going with this? Anyway, Crystal, this is where your line was. Anyway. So anyway, I ended up going on there and seeing that they knew Chris, and I went on there and I told him, and I said, yeah, I do. And I said, you might want to ask Chris who I am, because I see you're friends with him or whatever. Well, then he started backpedaling. I hope he does see this. Here's my phone number. Call me. Okay. Yeah. Let's not be waiting for that call. And, I apologize or something, and here's my phone number. Call me. Let's just say I never called you. I'll tell you who Kelly calls nobody. And Crystal, we need to call AT&T and get the thing because I think I have like 400 messages on my landline that we haven't retrieved. All right. No, that's where your line was. Wow. No, you got like one time in episode. Wow. All right. So look, fetch. Good. Fetch. Always making sure their lips aren't pressing down on it. Good. And I'm going to find out the right thing that we're going to good. Be able to get her to fetch. Because, with one like this, again, we're not putting this dog in competitions or anything. But, really, if you're going to compete in obedience on a national level, you're going to have a dog that's trained to retrieve. And I'm not saying, a trained retrieve, per se, any specific way, but some form of a trained retrieve, whether it's going to be a Schutzhund dog, obedience dog, field-tried dog, whatever. That's why they invented it. All right, see if we can just get her. Good. Rich. She's doing absolutely perfect. Hi, Mark.